Welcome back to Bo Sports.
On today's episode, we'll be discussing New England Revolution being eliminated from playoff contention, and breaking news, head coach Caleb Porter is now parting ways with the New England Revolution, with now interim head coach Pablo Marrera now stepping in for his position. And the next part of the half of the episode, we'll be discussing the New England Patriots, Packers, and Niners news on what is going on in the NFL. So let's get into this. So Aiden, what do you think is going to be the backlash and or effect to the team now that head coach Caleb Porter is now parting ways with New England?
Good. They will be really good, and be really good, and be really good until the end.
I think so too, Aiden. And honestly, one of the biggest things I think that Revolution fans, including me and you, have been absolutely begging for the entire season, ever since the first 3 games happened. One of the biggest things that we kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and even some of the supporters groups that were literally petitioning for Caleb Porter to be fired. I think all of us were waiting for this day to happen, and honestly, all of us are excited and happy for this happening. And honestly, it's gonna be a long road ahead of us. We're gonna have to go back to the rebuilding phase again, but maybe this is gonna be the best turn for us. Maybe head coach Pablo Marrera can do something for our team, and maybe he'll be the answer. Or we're gonna have to go find a new coach in the free agency for our head coaches. So what are your thoughts, Aiden? So how do you think the Revolution played overall this season? Maybe like what they could have done better, or maybe even what the team overall did as a team despite their mishaps.
They played good half the season, and the formation was good for a while. And then a few changes. Then it won a game again. And then lost a game again. And tied with Toronto.
Yeah, there was just a lot of up and down this season, and there were so many games that they should have closed out so much better. But I just don't think we have the pieces. I think like one of the commentators said, one of the games that when we were watching, I think the biggest thing that we need to address is the fact that we need to get one of those high caliber players who can support and help Carlos Hill. And who knows, maybe Carlos Hill might be leaving at the end of the season. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. But we need to get a high caliber player like Suarez, like Messi, like Muller on brain farting. What is their names again? Not Toronto. The other team, Vancouver. Vancouver. That's who it is. Muller came in and he's making that team so much better. We brought in Gill. He made the team better, but he's getting older. We need some of those flashy players that'll actually get us goals, that'll actually make us have some progress up the field, and hopefully we can get that whether it's in the transfer market, whether it's in the draft for some of the new guys. But we need to find some talent for this team, because it's been a long drought of nothing to show. Like, we don't have any cup wins. We have a supporter shield. Wow. For having the most wins in MLS history. But then we ended up losing in the first round. It's like, so you're going to do all that all season long, and then you're going to lose in the first round? And then we had to lose Bruce Arena, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. I mean, not much you can do. But anything else, do you have any thoughts for the remainder of the season? At this point now, what do we have to play for?
Pride.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do.
When we went down, probably the Web Bull's going down with us.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look at it this way.
The Web Bulls made it 15 times.
Yeah.
Now they're out of probably out of the playoffs with us.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing that we did this past game that was an accomplishment. We made sure Toronto didn't get into the playoffs either.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity if they won. Same with us. If we won, we would have had a chance at playoffs. If games went in our favor, but we would have had a chance. But now that both the teams tied each other, neither of us can go. So honestly, that's a great ending to the season.
Yeah.
Now we still got 4 more games left.
Mm-hmm.
All we gotta do now is just play for pride. Oh, maybe we can win those last 4 games. That'd be awesome. Maybe knock out another team of the playoffs.
Like Chicago.
Exactly. So let's just enjoy these last games. Maybe they'll just start putting in some backups so we can start really seeing how some of our younger talent is, and maybe it'll be a good. Maybe this will be a good start for a new chapter in the team's future. Now, let's get into a little bit about the NFL. Now, there's been some interesting stuff going around. Let's start off with the Patriots. Now, I know our podcast isn't really much about the Patriots. We're more of Packers and Niners news.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to now start appealing to more of the local audience. And we're going to start talking about the New England Patriots. Now, they're 1-1 right now. We're in the second week, coming up on week number 3. And the Patriots don't look too bad.
Mostly they have the best coach probably in the league.
Yeah. They have who again? What's their coach?
The
old Titans coach.
the old Titans coach.
But let's see. Who did they lose to in the first game? I'm brain farting. I honestly don't remember. I would have to check, but they lost the first game.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It was the Raiders. Not Raiders. Yeah, Raiders. They had a good game against the Raiders. But, again, by 1 score. Same with and then this same goes with this against the Dolphins. They only won by 1 score. Or yeah, basically. Was it it was 33-27? Yeah, by 1 score.
Can I answer this?
Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. How about those Kansas City Chiefs?
No, we could go around the whole NFL. But let's stick to the Patriots, the Niners, and the Packers. If we have time at the end, we'll talk about a little bit about some of the other teams. But let's just kind of take an overview of the Patriots. So Patriots, They have some good pieces. They have a good coach. They have a decent defense. They have good run game. They have good wide receivers and tight ends. And they also have their quarterback, who is also still a young guy. Now, what are your thoughts, Aiden? Do you think that they could be a good team?
Yeah. I
mean, I do think there's one thing we could say. Is that they're definitely not going to be the Tom Brady Patriots. But they're going to be the Patriots. They're still going to be a good team. They're still going to try their best to make teams run for their money. But we'll have to see how they do. Again, I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Packers fan. And you're what again?
Niners fan.
Yeah, you're wearing red, for crying out loud. I mean, I'm not wearing any Packers colors. I have a Packers trash can over here that literally is a Packers trash can. Anyways, that's besides the point. But I think the Patriots are going to look good this season. I think they could be a solid 9-8 team. What do you think, Aiden?
Yeah.
Do you think they can be a 9-8 team?
Yeah.
What do you have them winning or losing this coming weekend? Don't you have your paper?
No.
Oh. Who are they playing against next? We would have to look back on that again, but they could be a good team. They just got to put the pieces together. And honestly, again, we don't really watch much of Patriots, but it's still good to occasionally go back and look at some of the games. And they had a good game against the Dolphins. They really did. They showed out. They had a performance. But there's a lot of one-score winning games nowadays. And honestly, it's kind of surprising and and honestly intense and fun to watch some of these games play out. But yeah, I think the Patriots are going to do good this season. Um, but that's again up to Vrabel. That's his name.
You're able.
Mike.
Mike Wable.
Vrabel or Vrabel.
Wable.
Whatever, Mr. Mike. But no, we're looking good. They're looking good this season. I think they'll at least be a 9-8 team. But I think they still have a few pieces that they still gotta add to the team before they'll actually be a decent team. Now, who do we want to start with, or do you want to leave my Packers to the end? Because I think I have a lot to say about the Packers. If you want, you could talk about the Niners and
Yeah.
explain what you think they're gonna do this season,
Mhm.
and who they're missing, or what are some positions that they might need to improve at. Go ahead, Aid. Take the floor.
Well, they lost Buck Birdie, and then
Because of what?
uh,
Wasn't it a toe injury or
toe
something?
injury and
Or was that Joe Burrow? No, it was Brock Purdy.
Yep, Buck Birdie.
It was a shoulder and toe, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. Go ahead.
And Mac Jones played.
Yeah, you have to say, was Mac Jones pretty good that game?
Yeah.
I mean, they won, right?
Yeah.
Who'd they play against?
The Saints.
The Saints, that's right, yeah. And they look pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really watch the game. I was too busy focused on my Packers winning, and then I was doing other things, so I couldn't really get a chance to watch the games. But what about you, Aiden? How did that game go against the Saints? What do you think are some of the takeaways from that game?
They need more yards, or it was a nice game, but they need work on passing more with Mac Jones. More practices with Mac Jones. When Mac Jones keep practicing, he gets even more better. The time goes.
Yeah, and Mac Jones was with the Patriots, and then what other team was he with before that? I thought he was with one other team. Was it Jaguars?
Yeah.
That's what it was. Jacksonville Jaguars. He was with them for a stint, and then he is now with the Niners. And you would say he did pretty good that game?
Yeah.
All things considered. What do you think? How did you think that Kittle and Christian McCaffrey did that game? Do you think they did pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about what's going on with that game. You could explain more. Go ahead. You have the floor.
I remember the Saints was garbage.
Yeah. What was the other team they played against in the first weekend? The first week? Wasn't the Seahawks?
Yeah, Seahawks.
Yeah. And they lost.
But Weller's the quarterback.
Yeah. You have to say. Can you explain some of that first week? How do you think they did? Or that was because that was a rough game, wasn't it?
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can talk. You have the floor.
They came back and won the game.
No, yeah. Yeah, you can't do anything about that. But how do you think your defense is going to be this season? Do you think it's not going to be too bad? Do you think it's going to be okay? Or do you think it's absolutely garbage?
Okay.
Yeah? Who do you have on that defensive line?
We got Nick Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Young talent guys. Most of our veterans, most of our kids or something.
Yeah, and what about that offense? How do you think your offense is going to play out this season? What are some of your biggest talents on the team?
Kittle, Michael McCaffrey,
Christian McCaffrey, not Michael.
You
do that every time.
Christian McCaffrey, not Michael McCaffrey.
Who's Michael McCaffrey?
I don't know. I want to see how this season plays out. If we get 16-1 or something.
No, let's be realistic. What do you think the record's gonna be actually?
15-2.
15-2.
Or 14-3. Let's go with that.
Jeez, that's a high bar, bro. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. With them losing a few pieces on offense and a few pieces on defense, I would give them, and this I'm being a harsh critic because honestly my team's doing really good, and honestly I'm gonna be out of pocket as I would give them a 10-7 record. Only because playing against good teams, this side of the conference is pretty damn good. I mean, there's a lot of good teams. But you're gonna have some tough teams to play against, and with not having Brock Purdy, I don't know how Mac Jones is gonna be for the rest of the season. How long is Brock Purdy gonna be out? Wasn't it a couple weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Either way, it's gonna be a long road for you with a quarterback that's been kind of like a journeyman going from team to team for the last few seasons. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's generous, and I'll say 10-7. Maybe 11-6. I'll give you that. Because they're still the Niners. They're still gonna find a way to win, even if it's gonna be one of the most ridiculous ways that they could win. They're gonna still somehow manage to win. But I think it's enough Niners talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them Packers. Let's talk about the Cheeseheads, the green and gold, the Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons was a big one.
Let's talk about them Packs. I've been waiting for this. We're 0-2. Or sorry, not 0-2. That's the wrong way. We're 2-0. We kept the Lions and oh my god, I'm brain farting.
Commanders.
The Commanders, thank you. We kept both the Lions and the Commanders, who were playoff teams last season, to not scoring a touchdown until the fourth quarter. Both games. Neither of those teams could score a touchdown until the very end of the fourth quarter. Now, Micah Parsons already has a sack and a half out of those two games. Now, yes, like we can argue, it was just like bad. It was like the end of the game at time, like it was the extra nonsense time that you're gonna get. It's easy to get a sack, but still, we traded for Micah Parsons, and somehow, thank you, Jerry, for giving us Micah Parsons, because now we can continue the legacy of quarterbacks winning in their 27th year. Yes, I've been watching a lot of those conspiracy theorist videos of how Brett Favre got a defensive player that was playing out of his mind that year and got traded to him. So Brett Favre had a, I forgot what the guy's name was, but he had a really good defensive player that came into the defense. And guess what? They won the Super Bowl when Brett Favre was 27. Aaron Rodgers had the same thing happen. When he turned 27, Packers traded for a star defensive player. I think it was Reggie White, right? Something like that. And then, look what's happening with Jordan Love. Jordan Love, he's turning 27. And what did the Packers go out and do? They bought Micah Parsons. They traded for Micah Parsons. And Jordan Love is going to be 27 by the end of the season. So you're telling me that legacy of constantly winning Super Bowls, Packers quarterbacks winning when they're 27 isn't a coincidence? I think not. I think the Packers have a strong chance and have a good enough team that they could go 17-0. Now I'm going to be realistic. I know that if they did win out most of their games this season, they're going to have to drop a game or two against the Lions at the end of the season, I think, right? I think they play Lions at the end of the season. But they're going to drop a game at the end of the season for resting their starters. Okay, so the ceiling could be 16-1. Now, I obviously am going to be more realistic. I'm going to say that they're going to finish 15-2. Because this team is so good that I can't see why not they wouldn't win out all of their games, if not most of them this season. Because they're a damn good football team. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for this coming game against the Browns. Because if they can beat the Browns, who arguably right now have a really good defense, have a top 5 defense if I'm not mistaken, they're doing really good too. If we can beat the Browns, it's going to be a long season for some of these NFC teams. It's going to be a long season. And I'm looking forward for my pack to be back. You have any thoughts, Aiden, about the Packers?
The main reason why the Lions got so defeated because they lost to two coordinators.
Yeah, but you can also argue that happens every season, every team, right? Like the Packers, they had to get rid of their defensive coordinator to find a new one. Now look at it. We have Jeff Hafley, and we just brought in one of the best talents on the defensive side of the ball. And now look at his defense. The whole defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not arguing back at you. You can push back all you want. Go ahead, push back at me. I like it. I like debating. It's fun.
Well, the Lions got so trashed because those coordinators, aka coordinators, one of them went to the Bears, and the other one went to the Jets.
And look what happened to both coordinators. They got a head coaching position for losing teams, and guess what? Aren't they 0-2? They're 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Both coaches are 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw the beatdown that the Lions gave the Bears the other day.
Yeah.
52 to what?
21.
Ben Johnson needs to go back to the Lions. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
He needs to go back to the Lions and be their coordinator instead. Because you got rid of all those coaches, and now the Lions are a shell of themselves. The Bears suck still. And honestly, I'm gonna say it. The Bears are probably never gonna. They're a poverty franchise. Not as bad as the Carolina Panthers, but Panthers are god awful. But at the end of the day, you do that to your whole team. You get rid of coordinators for them to be head coaches, and they're not going to be good. Like, that's because now what's going to happen is that the Bears are going to suck. The Bears franchise is going to be like, oh, we have to turn around and fire Ben because he sucked because our team's not winning. That's not the mentality that you should have as a front office. What you do is you give that coach a few years to figure out what he could do to make the team better. Not turn around and fire a coach after the first season because they don't turn around and change your franchise just like that right off the bat. You got to give the coaches time. You got to give them time to develop and understand the players and understand the playbook of the system, so then they can make that team better. And that's what's going on with the Bears. That's what's going on with the Panthers. That's what's going on with the some of these other really bad franchises. Like you can't just turn around, pull a coach and think, oh, he's going to be a great head coach, and then he's absolutely terrible. That's what it's been for a few of these. Like even in soccer, you can't just pull a coach like, oh yeah, he's going to be a good coach based off his resume. You got to see how he is in the other. For his footage as a coach and what his teams looked like. You can't just be like, oh yeah, he's good. You gotta analyze and observe these coaches and how good they can be, and if they fit the I don't even know what the word is. Like your team's approach, your team's mission. You can't just have a random coach come in and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to switch up the whole entire team. Okay, what is that going to do? Because now you have to now you have to build with that team. Now you have to try to make yourself known in that team. With a brand new team, I mean, look at what happened with Caleb Porter. He brought in all this new good talent, and then look what happened. They're finished in 11th.
Mm-hmm.
My point exactly. Same goes with the NFL. Same goes with some of these teams that haven't seen playoffs in 10, 15 years. So, any final thoughts, Aiden?
Well, I got one thought. Sorry, Chiefs, you suck.
We'll leave it at that. Because the Chiefs do suck now, and I like it. Anyways, I'm your host, Corey Raftery.
Aiden host, Aiden Raftery.
And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.